The film starts and we see a girl named Rose. She had cuts on her face and she was very injured. Looking at it, it seemed like she had gone through a lot of trouble and someone was sitting in front of her and inquiring. He must be trying to find out how all this happened. Now the scene shifts from here and comes in the past a few weeks ago when all this did not happen with Rose. It means that all this must have started from here. It was night time when we see her mom in Rose's house cooking food. When Rose returns from work, she meets her mom and both the mother and daughter are very happy. It means that both the mothers loved each other a lot because her mom had raised Rose alone. Her dad died when Rose was small and she was still living alone. Rose's mom tells her that at the end of this week, we will go to visit my friend whose name is Derek. Although Rose did not want to go, but her mom convinces her because she also wanted Rose to go with her on this trip. That's why she agreed. Then when that day came, Rose and her mom get ready and sit in the car to leave. Here Rose once again tells her mom that it has not been long since you have met that man. Should we trust him? Who knows, he is a bad person. On this, Rose's mom explains that son, he is a very good person and when you meet him, you will also like his habits and your misunderstanding will be cleared. And now as soon as Rose's mom turns the key to start the car does not start. When Rose says, "See mom, this is a message for us that we should not go on this trip." And her mom makes fun of this and fixes the car and these people leave here and come to the port. Then Rose stops in the car for a while and her mom goes to meet Derek, who was loading goods in the boat at this time. After a while, Rose's mom was taking out the goods from the car. Then Rose sees two men there. One man wants to help his mom to pick up the goods, but she refuses that. "Thank you, I can do this myself." Then there is a little chat between the mother and daughter and she comes to Derek's boat. The name of this boat was Annalisa. Derek was a very rich man, but he says that I have taken this boat from someone else and its name has not changed because this thing is not good when someone is going on a trip. Now Rose still does not trust Derek, but he seemed to be a good person. And now after all the preparations, they set out on their journey. We notice that Rose's mom and Derek had a very loving relationship. When Rose goes to her room, she checks the phone where there was no network at all. She got very worried because she thinks that I am not crazy in such love like my mom, that I can trust anyone. When she tells her mom comforts her. Now Rose's heart is a little excited, so Derek teaches her to ride a little boat. Today was Rose's mom's birthday and Rose had already brought the cake with her, so she wishes her. Derek gives both of them gifts from his side. He gives his mom a shirt and gives Rose a small knife that could come in handy in difficult times. Now Rose liked this gift, but she feels a little weird thinking about the knife. But slowly, the hatred for Derek also decreases. The next day when Rose's mom was making her pictures, she suddenly falls into the water because of the strong wind. Look at this, Derek. The boat stops and Rose tells her to go down quickly and bring a blanket. Rose went down quickly and when she was looking for a blanket, she sees some umbrellas there, which makes her a little nervous. But after getting the blanket, she quickly ran to her mother, who had fortunately come out. But Rose blows her a blanket. She says, "Son, I'm sorry, but your phone also fell with me while falling." Rose says, "Mom, it's okay, thank God you are safe. I am worried about your mobile." Then a storm began to move towards them, seeing which both the mother and daughter were worried. Derek reassures them that this is an ordinary thing, nothing will happen to the storm. When it happens exactly like this, they safely get out of the storm. The next day, both the mother and daughter were talking. Rose's mother says, "I'm sorry, son, I couldn't give you a good life." Rose says, "No, Mom, I am very happy with you, I have no complaints from you." Then Derek also came. Rose asks him about those weapons. In response, he says that the weapon is a part of my work because I used to be a police officer. Then I left my job and now I work as a security guard. That's why they don't have much doubt on him. Rose was a little interested in weapons, so Derek teaches her how to shoot a gun. She is also surprised that Rose was learning very quickly. She praises him. Mom says that Rose's dad was in the army. Maybe that's why she is so good at shooting weapons. With time, Rose also starts to like Derek. Now one night when she was sleeping, suddenly Rose's eyes opened. When she went to check, another boat was coming towards her, in which there were 3 people and they had weapons. She gets into their boat and starts threatening Derek and his mom at gunpoint. She asks Derek some questions because she wanted to know something about him. But he didn't tell her anything. That's why in anger, a man slaps Rose's mom so hard that she fell down. She sees Rose and tells her to hide immediately. That's why Rose comes down quickly to get a gun. But before she comes back with the gun, they shoot her mom and kill her. One bullet hit Derek, which hit his shoulder and he fell into the sea. Rose was completely scared. She hid and sat down. She was holding a gun in her hand that if anyone came down, she would shoot her children and kill them. The thing they came in search of, they decided to go from there when they did not find it. Fortunately, they did not see Rose, but before going, they set fire to the boat. After a while, Rose came out and seeing her mother's body, she completely broke. She also had to put out the fire. So to save her life, she gets into extinguishing the fire, in which she was successful. But because of losing her mother, she cries a lot. She was completely alone, so she could not sleep all night. In the morning, when she takes care of herself, she wraps her mother's body in a cloth. Now the cloth that was waving with the boat, with the help of which the boat was moving forward, it was completely burned. Rose also does not understand what to do, because she did not have much information about the boat. So she went down to find the radio, so that she could call for help, but unfortunately, the radio was also completely burned. Rose now starts thinking that what should I do? I am stuck in the middle of the sea alone. Then her eyes fall on a rope. When she pulled the rope, Derek was tied to her. He was alive, just injured because of the bullet. He asks Rose for help from inside the sea. Then Rose pulls the rope and brings him on the boat. She was asking him again and again who they were who killed my mother. But Derek says that I don't know who they were. Rose asks him, now tell me what to do next, because the radio is burned, the cloth is burned. I don't understand what to do. Then Derek tells her that you put the cloth lying there first, this will move our boat forward. Rose did this, she put the cloth. The next day, Rose investigates Derek's theft, but does not trust him. Somewhere, she had a doubt on Derek. And her suspicion increases when she sees old pictures of Derek, in which he was with his wife. And his wife's name was Annalisa, meaning that Derek had lied about this boat. This was his own boat. Derek also had pictures of those people who had killed Rose's mother. This means that Derek knew them, but he has been lying from the beginning. After knowing all this, Rose thinks of tying him. Now Derek was not conscious, so this was a good opportunity for her. And she ties Derek's hands with a rope. But after a while, when she came to check, Derek was missing. Rose starts looking for him. When she came down, Derek was there. Rose holds a knife in her hand and asks him to tell who they were. Then Derek just says that it is better if you do not know about this. Derek was not at all afraid of Rose, nor was he saddened by Rose's mother's death. He traps Rose in his words and starts getting her boat repaired. Because one of her hands was useless. Rose also had no other way but to listen to him. Because Derek was the only one who could get her out of the sea. These people also tried to repair the engine, but it was completely useless. So now they had nothing but the sea breeze through which they could move forward. Rose takes out the locket from her mother's body and wears it in her memory. Look, Derek says that I gave this locket to your mother. But Rose knew that he was lying. Because this locket of her mother was very old, while she had met Derek a few days earlier. Now they kept moving forward for 2 days. But one day Derek gets very angry. He started talking in anger. Because according to the map, he was not on his destination, but was going very far from it. Seeing Derek angry, Rose goes to her room and hides. She also took a gun in her hand to save herself. When she came out to check in the morning, Derek was sitting in the corner, disappointed. Rose herself starts looking around, where she sees an island. And now without asking Derek, she turns the boat towards the island. But they could not go to the shore through this boat. So they have to go there by raft or small boat. Derek also wanted to go to the island, so he gets on the raft first. But because of not doing one-handed work, he needed Rose to ride the boat. But Rose could not trust him either. But she was helpless. so she also comes quietly in the raft. When she was riding the boat, one part of the boat opened and fell into the water. Because it was new for Rose, so she goes to the sea to get the boat. But she did not know how to swim, so she started looking for the boat. She also wore a life jacket. From the raft, Derek was telling her how she could remove the life jacket. But when she sank a little, Derek jumped into the sea and brought her to the shore. Rose was also conscious. She was suffocating. But Derek gave CPR and brought her to consciousness. Derek went to check the island. After taking care of herself, Rose also goes to the jungle of the island. But when she went to the cave, Derek got water to drink. And he tells Rose to drink water. This island was completely deserted, so Rose says let's go from here. But Derek says we will go tomorrow because it was going to be night soon. These people had brought the raft to the shore, so Rose goes to sleep in it. While Derek sets fire outside, Rose was not sleepy, so she sits next to Derek. Both started talking, and Derek starts telling her his story. He says I was an honest policeman. I did my duty well for 10 years. But I did not get anything. My condition was getting worse day by day. On the other hand, people were getting rich. My wife left me because she thought I was defeated by the situation. Then I left the path of goodness and took the path of evil. And I joined the wrong people, where I got a lot of money and I became rich. And the man I used to work with was really no less than a devil. Because he did all the bad things about which you can't even think. Like stealing, looting, kidnapping girls, then smuggling them and selling them. And all kinds of wrong things. And yes, I did not love your mother. I just liked her anyway. So that's why I trapped her. Because she was beautiful and so were you. If she was not there, then you are. Whether it is a woman or a daughter. Rose got very angry. Now Derek says my boss likes beautiful girls like you, whom he used to kidnap and sell them. And yes, let's talk about me. I also started enjoying these bad things again. Like I used to enjoy looting people a lot. I also looted my boss. He came to take his money from me that day, in which your mother died. After hearing all this, Rose could not control her anger. She hits Derek and drops him down. Rose takes out a gun from her bag and throws it at Derek. Threatened to kill him. But Derek was still not afraid of him. He taunts him that you can't tie a rope. I am free from where? So what, will you kill me? Rose gets angry at him. As soon as she presses the trigger, the bullet does not shoot. Because the gun was empty. See, Derek got a chance. He slapped him. Drops him down. But Rose somehow gets rid of herself and runs away. And Derek got the gun. Quickly Rose runs into the jungle. Derek says now you know more than the limit. That's why you have to die. He takes the gun and runs behind him in the jungle, where Rose was running and Derek was behind him. And this was going on all night. Rose makes a plan in the morning that I will run away with the raft. But Derek, who was standing at a high place, he starts shooting at Rose. A bullet also hits Rose's feet. Also, Derek also falls from a high place. He does not die, but he was quite injured. And Rose left him dead and came in the raft. Then quickly goes in the boat. But now slowly the boat also starts sinking. That's why Rose starts throwing things out every day. Then she had to leave her mother's body in the sea. But still the boat sank. And Rose had to come back in the raft. But she is crying a lot. She stayed in the sea for 2 days. One day she sees a boat. So with the help of a flare gun, Rose looks at the boat towards her. They had seen the light of the flare, but they come at night to save Rose. And brought her in their boat. They give her something to eat. But those people also had weapons. Seeing them, Rose understood that these people who have saved my life are not good people. Because then she sees a girl who was intoxicated and was being taken somewhere. Now Rose makes an excuse to take a bath and goes to the bathroom. She realized that these are the same people about whom Derek did not tell. The girls who smuggle them. Then she also saw their boat, which also came in the ship, which beautiful girls liked. So making a plan, Rose gets ready well and goes to Bose. She tries to entangle him in her talks and trap him. When Bose came in her talks, Rose attacks him with a wrench. She kills him by hitting him badly. Then after searching, Rose gets more weapons. And now the game has completely turned. Rose comes to her farm, where she was the first girl who looked innocent. Now she had become a killer, a shooter. Whoever was coming in front of her, she was killing him. And thus she kills everyone by showing her bravery and courage, which was impossible. Then she goes ahead and reaches the girl, who was seen by Rose in a state of intoxication. The girl says that I am not alone on this ship. Other girls like me are tied to this ship, who these people were kidnapping and taking to sell. Rose goes and opens a door where all those girls meet him, who was imprisoned. Before Rose could save them, a companion of Beau's who is still alive, he comes and puts a gun on Rose. But before that he kills Rose. Rose attacks him before that and shoots him, and he is killed. Then when Rose came up, there was one more alive, who was no one else but Derek. Rose was surprised to see him alive. She asks, "You were dead on that island. Then how are you here?" And he is also alive. When Derek tells that my Beau's came there, I told him that you changed my life. And then I sent him on the ship, by saying that you are there. And he saved me. After hearing this, Rose started laughing. She says, "But I killed your Beau's. He is no more." After hearing this, Derek pushes him down the stairs. Then he picks up the gun and comes to kill him. But when he came there, he saw that Rose was missing. When he came to check him, Rose leaves a chemical. As soon as he lost his mind, Rose got a chance, and she kills Derek with a knife. This was the same knife that Derek gave him as a gift. Now all the bad guys on the ship were killed. Only Rose and the girls who were captured survive. Rose frees all of them. These people see that the ship is moving towards the port. Rose and everyone is very happy, because they are safe. As soon as they reach the port, the police handle the whole matter. And from here, the scene comes back to where the movie started, when Rose was injured and someone was interrogating her. Then Rose tells this story to a police officer. On this, the police officer praises Rose for her courage, says that very good. You did a very good job. And soon all the girls will be sent to their homes. Here Rose says, "I can't go back to my house. There is nothing for me there. My life is over." But the policeman says this and leaves from there. That you are very brave. You have your future, your coming time, for which you fought. Now you have to live for that. Hearing this, Rose gets a courage, and she decides to move on, and once again make her life better. And with this, the movie ends here.